Alright, today we're going to try and do a DSi XL screen swap. This is a Nintendo DSi XL. It's a broken top screen. See, turn that on. Battery should be charged. There we go. So you see how that's faulty. The screen itself works. You can see everything and stuff, apart from obviously where it's broken. Now these ones are apparently very difficult to repair just because of how the ribbon cable goes through all the areas here, so not sure if I'll be able to do it, but I can definitely try. So I'll power that down. I've already taken these off just to take a look and see what's going on behind there, and there's quite a lot that's involved with replacing this screen. There's actually, I've got to desolder some wires and stuff like that as well. So it might take me some time, but let's get started. Right. So I'm grabbing my Phillips screwdriver, because that's what's all around here. You see I've already taken off the legs. I've actually lost a lot of them already, so I will be purchasing a replacement kit from online to get these legs back. There's a lot of them tend to fall apart as well once you've actually taken them off. And there's two for the battery. These are these screws have like a retention, so there's actually a circlip, I believe, that's holding them in, so they won't come out. So you can see there's a little circlip that holds it in place, so you don't lose them accidentally. Put that to the side. So I've got the battery there. Pull that out, and then there doesn't appear to be any other screws here. Yep, oh, and there's one more here on the slot, card slot itself. There we go. So that should pop up now. So pop out the SD card slot, and this should separate quite easily. I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to scratch any of this. There we go. Just takes a little bit to start separating it. It should come off, but we've got to be careful because the two bumpers here, left and right bumper, are actually connected to the board, I believe. There is a wire that holds them together. Just do that. Separate that a little. There we go. And you can see those wires there. So just pop those off. That should be it. That's containing and connecting the bottom shell. Pop that to the side. The top screen is actually connected in the top corner here. So that also drives the speakers and the Wi-Fi antennas as well. I think there is a little grey cable that runs there. You got to see it. The main thing we need to do is get all this off, so that we can then get to the hinge portion, because the hinge needs to come out so that we can actually route the cables through it. So let's get started with that. So I can start disconnecting these. We'll take off the Wi-Fi card, disconnect this battery terminal, and this is the actual battery connector itself. Not sure exactly how much of this I need to separate. So I'm gonna try and be careful. There is a bit of tape there that's holding one of these little ribbon connectors. Gotta be very careful of these, because I've had those little plastic parts actually pop off and break on me. There's another one here as well. See, that one's lifting up with the tape. Try and separate the tape from it. Put that to the side. Take those out, take this off, separate this. these are actually a few different connectors, so they're all laid on top of each other. So you've got to be mindful of the actual position they go in, so like 1, 2, and 3. Make sure you put them back in the same place, because otherwise the DS won't boot without one or the other. A few of these that we can unscrew. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bits to unscrew. These are all still Phillips. Move all these aside. And then we can carefully flip this up to get this connector. Oh, there's only 2. Awesome. Grab this, just pull down a little bit and free that connector. So that's the main part done. You see there's a little slot there. That's what we're going to lead the cabling out from and back into. So now that that's separated, we can take and open the top half. Same. This one seems to be, it's a strange DS because it actually uses all Phillips screws as opposed to the tri-wing or the Y-shaped ones. So actually also I've purchased the screen online. Whoops. It's not meant to fall out like that. Well, we can keep that separate anyways. Keep it safe. The touchscreen's probably seen better days as well. Just be careful of this because this is quite flimsy. You don't want to be snapping anything. Don't want to break anything. Close that back up. And this one is a bit weird. I think you got to push it forward a bit for it to come off. You can see that's moving forward a little bit from the edge. There we go. So 2 edges. Then we should be able to lift it up. There we are. Then we got to be careful again. We got connectors underneath. Everything's just connected together. So we fold it up like this. And then there is the camera connector, which we can very carefully pull off. It's glued down very slightly. And that's the top cover gone. And this is the screen itself. Fortunately, the replacement screen that I've got doesn't seem to be in too good condition. So it was meant to be a new screen, but it's obviously either a refurbished screen or I think it's just from an original decommissioned DS. So there are quite a few issues with it. So it's all dirty. This is all folded in on itself. They've stripped it from its plastic, from its glue. There's weird creases of how they manhandled it. So I won't really know what it's like. There is a screen protector on it, but I won't know what it's like until I actually plug it all in and turn it on, which will be fantastic. But other than that, it looks to be exactly the same. It's got similar part number, TX11, D02, and then V, and then CAH, whereas this one says CA2. And then it's got a serial number next to that as well. So next we can try and get rid of all these speakers and cables. So those are soldered on. These are just held in. This is the Wi-Fi card, well, Wi-Fi antenna, I should really say. That goes there. The speaker should be able to pop up as well. Yep, like that. And then I believe the screen should press out. I think that's all I need to do for that at the moment. Come back to here. I can get rid of these. I can get rid of the battery connector as well, because I will need access to the hinge part of there as well. So battery connector here. So take this out, nice and careful, put it aside. Pull all this rubber off, just to keep it safe. 1, 2, 3, and then There's the LCD. Oh, sorry, the LED light diffuser. Pull that out, put it aside. And then the plastic insert, again, pull it aside. And we should be able to access our little hinge there, that little tiny white part. Alright, so this part, got to be very, very careful where this hinge, I need to push out this way, very slightly. Very slightly. And that way I can actually separate this and pull this all out at once. I think. Yeah, because that's the actual hinge part. The other portion doesn't actually have a hinge. It's just got a hole. So, not sure how you guys can see this, but I'm putting my pliers in the hole and then just pushing it. You see how it's come out? But we'll see. Then I should be able to separate this from the top body. There we go, like that. And then we should be able to take all these out. Hopefully without ripping them. This is going to be the hard part, because these are actually rolled up together. Okay, like this, bend it up, there we go. Alright, that's separated now. But now I can roll these up. So again, remember that the black one is on the outside of the gold one. Roll it up. There we go. So, I don't know how much of that you can see. I'm going to pull this out just to make it easier. Move that to the side. So I've rolled those up and I'm just going to push them through while also grabbing the display out. So you take this little hinge off. I think that's the front side camera. Try and lift that up a bit more, and then we can push this through. Boy. Going very well. Cables are insane. There we go. Oof, man. Alright. That is crazy. Now we got the broken LCD with the speakers. And you can see they're actually soldered on. See if we can zoom in a little bit. Yep. So we're actually soldered onto here. So keep in mind which one goes where. So the long cable one goes red and black. The short cable one goes top red and black. Just desolder these cables. So one by one we can do that. Just grab and hold one slightly. Heat up the solder. Hopefully it's a good type of solder. You can heat up both at once. There's one. There's two. Same thing with this. There's one. There's two. Put those aside. That's pretty much it for that part. I do need to separate this plastic from the LCD though. This plastic lens seems to be somewhat glued down to this, so very carefully pry this up. So this is the LCD sort of like lens, plastic lens. So I need to pry that up very gently, just separating the glue. I want to scratch the inside, otherwise I've got permanent scratches on that lens and we'll have to replace it. It's very, very light amount of glue. I might need to transfer over this as well, the actual glue portion itself. Yeah, so this one doesn't actually have that at all. I should have tested this before taking everything apart. Now I need to pull, pardon me, the stickiness off of this. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to separate very nicely at all. Oh, okay, here we go. Nice and easy. Move this aside. And we can try and place this down in a similar way. Right, where's my lens? Here. I have no idea which side's the top part, which side's the bottom part. I'm assuming this side's the bottom part. So, grab me a bit of alcohol spray. Give it a quick spray. Clean it up. Okay, very minimal dusting is okay. Center that as much as possible. Might not be perfect, but it will do. Oh boy. Alright. And then we can pop this back down into here. That should hopefully fit well. It is within all the edges, so that's good. Fits how it should. Alright, so I will need to coil this all up so I can push it through that. Wait, no, we're getting major part is to actually solder the speakers back. Let me get some solder. It's teed up. So we're going to tin it off to the side because sometimes the tin or the solder actually like falls down, which is not what we want. And I'm going to tap onto here and put some solder onto each part. I want just enough to put the wiring back on. Okay. Left and right. Yep, just make sure these are on properly. Yep. There's one. Unfortunately, I do have a bit of an issue with the soldering iron where the tip itself doesn't get hot, but the very side of it here does. So I have to sort of angle it a little bit and then push this in. There we go. And then we can push this in like that. That's the speakers done. And now this part will travel underneath. Alright, and now we need to make sure that cable is coiled the right way. So the black cable goes on the outside of this cable. So this needs to coil together. It needs to coil around these cables. Yes, I see the problem now though. We will need to remove the screen a little bit. Be able to push this aside and then in.
One eternity later.
Oh. Okay, now it's going in. Maybe. There we go. It's probably destroyed, but... Oh boy. What a pain. I think that is literally, like, the hardest part about this. That should be over, almost. I've still got to get it into this plastic thing. Plastic, like what, hinge protector thingy? Man, oh man. The insanity. Yes. Yes. Okay. Oof. And that's, like, technically in. Can I put the rear cover thing back on now? Maybe. There seems to be something in the way over here. The hinge. I'm fairly certain it's this way, because that's how that hinge sits. Yes. Can't go that way though. I have to do it sideways like this, because it's longer. Like this. And then pull it in. Yes. And the black one should just go straight in. Yes. And then we can get that in. Beautiful. Alright, and then I can push that in, put that down, and then I should be able to push the hinge back to where it goes. If this decides to push, this is ridiculous now. There we go. Took a bit more force than I thought, but it worked. So that way, now, if I open this, that will open normally. Now, I can put this back on. Push down on it, until it slots in. Done. Like that. No gaps, no issues. Screen goes in. I can put the battery board in. I can put the main board back in. Where's the screen plug into though? I've got the screen on backwards. Or upside down, yeah. Lift that back up. Rotate. And back down. There we go. That's more like it. Dummy. And now we go like this and we can... Oh no, I've torn that. Yep, that's cut. That's gone and cut. All this for nothing. I'm pretty sure I tore the upper LCD cable though, so I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't work. Yep. I mean, it sort of works, but I tore the cable. Damn. Damn. Bugger. What a fail. What an absolute fail. You might be actually able to see that where I tore it. If it goes bright enough. Let me turn the flashlight on. And you can actually see right there, that little teeny tiny nick. That's where it tore. Little teeny tiny thing. That's all it takes. Oh boy.